It's 3:15, and that means it's time for
The Real Deal with Bill McNeil.
That's right. Welcome once again to The Real Deal with Bill McNeil. I'm your host, Bill McNeil, and you're probably wondering exactly what is the real deal today.
Hey, good question.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and an interesting question was brought up in the social media Twitter spheres recently. Is Perch the Sean Hannity of comic streaming? I have an answer to that, but let's give you the background story on this. This didn't come out of nowhere. Not too long ago, I had a conversation with Jervain Dargan, the It's Complicated series, where we were talking about the news media, and it came out that, shocking, I like Tucker Carlson. Go figure. And one of the regular commenters was like, how could you like Tucker Carlson? I was like, first of all, I don't like Tucker Carlson. I'm a cynical Gen X or conservative leaning Gen Xer. I fucking love Tucker Carlson. That's my guy. I don't always agree with him. And I don't, if he presents information, I know to go up and read up on it because, when you have an opinion maker, which is Tucker Carlson certainly is, he's not a hard journalist. You need to go out there and find the details for yourself because you are going to get a biased slant on it. But I appreciate the style which Tucker Carlson puts out the information. I like that he is not completely beholden to one side or the other. He will actually, he'll go out there and criticize his own side, which I like. I like stuff like that. I can respect that. There are certainly other opinion makers out there that I respect. Like I don't like Bill Maher so much, but I respect the fact that he can actually think outside the box, get outside of his own echo chamber, and actually criticize, the people that are supposedly on his own side. So I can respect things like that. So yes, calling me Tucker Carlson or asking me if I like Tucker Carlson is not the diss people think it is. So I guess it came out recently, and the same commenter let me know that they were in a live stream recently, and someone in the comments said that I, yours truly, was the Tucker Carlson of comic book streaming. Shockingly, I did not take offense to that. In fact, I find it a compliment. So I went out on Twitter and I said, if you're the person who called me, yours truly, the Tucker Carlson of comic streams, thank you very much. I had a smiley tear in my eye and one of those Tucker Carlson gifs where he's doing do you realize how stupid you sound faces that he gives people when their mental gymnastics are so overwhelmingly dumb and convoluted that there's no way they could actually possibly believe what they're actually spouting out of their mouths? That's my favorite thing about Tucker Carlson. I wish he would bring back the bow tie, but hey, whatever. He's got his own style now. And this got us to what we're going to talk about. Probably not in all that much depth, but I loved it. It was the greatest comment return of all times. And I got to say, shout out to my boy Vishal Kubal, who said, then Comic Perch is the Sean Hannity of comic streaming. Of course, I replied 1,000% yes, because of course he's not, but it was like the perfect response. It brought a huge smile to my eye. And I imagine other people out there that saw my original tweet and then saw this reply also smiled as well. Obviously, I gave it a little hard action on that one because I enjoyed it so much. Perch, not so much himself. He did not appreciate the Sean Hannity rub that people were giving him. And he said, I hate Sean Hannity. Given my drinking, there's only one choice. And he believes that he's the Norm Macdonald of comic streams. I don't know. Is Perch that funny? You know what I mean? I like Perch, and I do like his dry, sarcastic sense of humor. I don't know if he's Norm Macdonald funny. Maybe he's. We've said he might be the Kurt Loder of comic book streams. He's got the voice for it. I think he's funnier than Kurt Loder. Obviously, Kurt Loder would have been big back in the day with MTV News. If you remember Kurt Loder, you're dating yourself to my generation. So I thought this was great. It was a great response, and I do not blame Perch for taking offense to being categorized as the Sean Hannity of comic book YouTube. And here's why. I don't particularly like Sean Hannity myself. And some of you would say, but Wes, You're a conservative leaning independent. Why wouldn't you like Sean Hannity? Because Sean Hannity, he's one of those true believers, or he appears to be. He will say anything as long as it's the approved message of the party. I don't respect that, and I certainly would never want myself to be that. And I don't think Perch would see himself as in that light either. He wouldn't want to be the Rachel Maddow of comic book streams either. You know what I mean? Someone that's so fully invested on one narrative or one party that they completely lose sight of everything else that's going on. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. Just respect. We'll talk more about Perch, but I will pat myself on the back here. I do think for the most part, well, not for the most part, I give you an honest opinion on the way I see things. Is there bias to it? Well, of course. Now, there are certain news segments where I just present the information and, I don't really have an opinion on it. It's whatever. This is what's happening, or this is the comic book that's being released. But when I do give my opinions, of course, there is some bias to it. It's coming from a thinking cynical, Gen X, 20-year military veteran that was raised in the country, in the Midwest, that grew up in very unusual circumstance, a lot of drug abuse and whatnot, that was desperate to get away by the time he was about to graduate high school. That's the reason I signed up for the Air Force before I even had my diploma. I was like, I've got to get the fuck out of here. So all the things that I've witnessed in my life and all the experiences that I've had certainly form my point of view and how I see certain things. Now, I know that I am objective. I can see things and I can understand where other people are coming from. And that's really a lot of where my intelligence training came from. If you want to go study a foreign country and you want to give a report on why things are happening, you have to understand it from their perspective. You don't have to agree with it, but you do have to be able to see it from other people's eyes. And I think I'm able to do that here on the channel and understand why other people have a differing opinion of mine. And, for the most part, I can respect those things, especially, as long as you're not being overly rude or whatever. Hey, you're free to say whatever you want. That's why I bring Gervais on the channel every single week for what I call difficult conversations, because I don't mind those things. I don't mind disagreeing with my friends. I don't mind disagreeing with people that aren't my friends. I don't mind disagreeing with anybody. We can have conversations. I'm a cynical bastard. I don't mind having, I don't want hostile debates, but I certainly like very interesting, involved conversations with people that don't agree with me. I don't live in an echo chamber. When you see the people that are on my channel, they cover a wide swath, whether it comes from ethnicity, sexuality, maybe not so much in gender. It's harder to get some female participants here on the channel, but I've tried my hardest. But I do try to give a wide swath, and even ideology when it comes to political ideology, or even like theology and stuff like that. And I kind of pride myself on it, and I think I do a good job. Now, that's enough patting myself on the back. But I do want to say Perch, he gets maligned for reasons that I don't think that are all that fair, to be completely honest. Perch is not a fence sitter. He provides the information that he has. He provides his opinion, but he leaves room open for discussion. He's not so hard and firm with his words. He's not out there trying to dictate other people's opinions. And there are certainly a lot of other YouTubers, whether it be comic books, entertainment, video games, whatever, political discussions that are out there trying to dictate your opinion. That's one of the things I truly respect about Perch and his style and the information that he's giving. And he has a lot of contacts within comic books. He gets a lot of information, and a lot of his views and opinions are shaped by a lot of information that he can't even provide on his channel, because he's been sworn to secrecy. So he's aware of certain things, and that shapes his opinion. And that's why I think he provides one of the best, most grounded, well-rounded opinions just on the state of comic books, comic book news, things that could help, stuff like that. That's why I love having him on the channel, and that's why he's, quite frankly, one of my best friends at this point. It's kind of weird when you're stuck in another country. You're an expat And I certainly have friends here. My best friend is here, my wife, and all that stuff. But it's nice to be able to talk about things that you love. I do love comic books. I'm on here every single day because I enjoy the medium. I love the hobby. I love the community. But there's no comic shop here. There's literally, I think I've met 2 comic book readers in the city that I live in since I've been here. Now, I don't go out there, with a big sign that says, if you read comic books, talk to me. But I do get introduced, and people, for the most part, that know my wife, know us, and are friends with us, know that I talk about comic books. So I get introduced, and it's happened twice to people that do read them, but it's very few and far between. So that's why Perch and I have become very fast friends. We don't agree on everything. Let me put that one out there. We have different points of view, certainly on ideology and even on comic books and things like that. But he's another person that I can have really good conversations with that I know is going to be a value add to the channel. Not only that, Perch also has his own channel with his own fans, and that certainly helps. But he's a value add that he's going to present something and present it in a way that I think is meaningful and can help out all the viewers that are here. And that's why I really appreciate Perch and what he does. And he definitely takes a lot of crap, and he takes it not just from one side, he takes it from every side. Everybody thinks that Perch is a bad guy because he does not conform within a single box. He's not in an echo chamber. He's giving you, his raw, real opinions that are very well informed about the state of comic book. Not just as a lifelong reader, not just as a person that's been in comic book retail for decades now, not just as somebody that has been within the entertainment and other parts of business world that would inform these kind of opinions, but he's also somebody that has direct connections and friendships with a lot of people behind the scenes that won't go out there and speak publicly on a lot of things. And that's why I think it's really important what he's doing. So I just want to point that out there. Absolutely not. Perch is not the Sean Hannity of comic streams. I love the joke. I'm all about it. It gave me a big smile on my face, and I had to say I agreed with it just because I thought it was funny. And I knew Perch wasn't going to like it. But really what YouTube has brought to the table and what's so dangerous to the mainstream media is that you have informed opinions from people that don't have skin in the game, i.e. the industry. Perch doesn't care if he loses his comic book contacts. He's just here to present the information. I don't have any, I have friends in the comic book industry for certain. I have people I talk about too about behind the scenes. But if this all went away tomorrow, okay, that would suck. I've worked very hard to get here. But, I'm not scared to present information, and neither is he. And that's really, in general, why YouTube is a threat. That's why, when I say YouTube, not YouTube, but allowing people to have this platform and openly speak about these things. That's why they're clamping down on these things so often. And you'll see entire channels just disappear without no strikes or warnings or whatever, because they want to get the message off the air a lot of times. And if you're going to affect change, meaningful change, it's almost guaranteed that it will not come from within at this point. It's going to have to come through external forces, external voices that are highlighting these problems in a very meaningful way, articulating it very well, that people that maybe are sitting in the middle that are into the industry, they're like, oh, I don't want to, kick up a fuss, or I don't know where I lead, but where they can go there and know that they're getting good, honest opinions that are backed up with real information to really spotlight some of these problems. And that's why I think someone like Perch is so very important and so much more effective than a Sean Hannity, who, if you're not a card-carrying Republican, you don't trust for anything. His opinions seem to mostly be informed. If you're a Sean Hannity fan, I'm not dissing you or anything. I'm just saying I think the people that aren't card carrying Republicans, the people in the middle, the centrists, or certainly the people on the left, see him, as an agent of the Republican system. He's essentially, he's a sounding board for their message. That's why you have to go to YouTube for a lot of these sources as far as information, perspective on a lot of these things, where you're not getting it directly from the party. You're not getting it directly from the system. And that's why it's so dangerous to the system. And that's why I think in the end, the way that Perch is doing it, which is certainly different than mine, and I do acknowledge what Perch is doing is more effective than me. I want to affect change as well, but I think he's got a better plan about it. I also want to have some fun. Not that Perch doesn't want to have fun. His channel's fun too, but we're going about it in different ways, and I definitely respect what he's doing. And he's really important to the community. He's an important voice, and I wanted to put it out there. But I did think that was hilarious when they said, "So Perch is the Sean Hannity of comic streams." Absolutely he is. That was one of my favorite jokes. So just wanted to go out there and say that, and I hope everyone's having a good day. We will be here on the channel tomorrow. I'm going to have 3 videos up, almost like normal for a Thanksgiving. You're going to have a top 5 list with my good friend Dylan. We are going to have Jesse Blaze Snyder back on the channel to talk about the real heroes. And then I'm going to have a video about all the things I'm thankful for. So I just want to put it out there. I love the joke. It's definitely going to be in the thumbnail. But no, absolutely not. Perch is one of the real free thinkers that provides a very valuable service to the comic book community. And I would not categorize him anything like as an agent of one system or the other. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.